Well, I think that the economy, the global economy, is going to slow down. We know that because these supply chain disruptions are, in fact, having a negative impact on economic growth. Obviously, the higher energy prices may take money away from consumers, and their ability to buy imported goods will also be reduced. So we are going to see a little bit slower growth. Keep in mind that when you have these supply side disruptions, it prevents consumers from buying the products that they want to buy simply because they cannot have access to them. So that, by definition, slows down economic growth. So it is logical that we are seeing downward revisions in global economic growth.
Anthony, what about China and its economic recovery from the devastating impacts of the pandemic? It seems like it's kind of gotten a handle on, it still has outbreaks here and there, but it's done pretty well in terms of dealing with COVID, and the economy's done pretty well. But what are some of the signs or trends you're seeing there?
Well, we're certainly aware of the fact that if you continue to have these supply chain disruptions coming out of Asia and even out of China, that means that they will, in fact, see a bit of a reduction in the demand for their exports. So that will slow down economic growth. We also know that China has, in fact, taken very seriously its effort to reduce its energy footprint. That explains why they've reduced the production of energy, coal, and other energy products. And that explains, of course, the slowdown in the manufacturing sector. They're also in China going to perhaps slow down the amount of debt growth in the property sector. So all these things are going to slow down economic growth. But there's one good thing going for China, and that is that we're going to see economic growth somewhere around 7.5% to 8%, and probably closer to 8%. And that's way above their targeted growth rate of close to 6%. So I think that right now China has done an excellent job at managing the pandemic. And right now their economic growth, even though it's going to slow sharply on a sequential basis in the third quarter, for the year as a whole, it's going to come in at a very impressive growth rate relative to its targeted growth pace.
And we know that both of these countries, the United States and China, have had to deal with this trade war. We saw the U.S. Trade Representative with a speech last week, which kind of indicates maybe a softening in tone from the Biden administration compared to the Trump administration. We also saw the meeting, of course, Jake Sullivan having with the Chinese officials overseas. You see any daylight there that might be a glimmer of hope moving forward?
Oh, I definitely see a little bit of a glimmer of hope there. It's in the best interest of both countries to cooperate with each other. Obviously, there are some existing tensions, so the progress will be steady and will be gradual. But nonetheless, I think that the progress will be positive moving forward. Some might believe that it's not quick enough and not positive enough, but it's certainly, in my judgment, over the next 6 to 12 months, will move positively in the right direction, and that will be offer a positive boost of growth for both countries, and that's certainly in the best interests of both China and the United States.